next fly I'd like to show you is what I call the swimming caddis pupa. What a swimming caddis pupa is, as it leaves its case or thinks it's going to become an adult, what the bug does, it takes off from the bottom and swims towards the surface. And during that process, its legs stick out the side of its body and act like oars and flutters all the way up to the top of the surface. What we're going to use is a 2302 hook. We're going to use turkey buyout for the body, medallion sheeting for the wing case, some possum for the thorax, and then for our legs or little oars, what we're going to be using is emu. So let's start tying this. To begin with, we'll start off with our 2302 hook. And we're going to attach some tan thread here. And we'll just wrap back onto the bend a little bit. Take off our thread. Now we're ready to attach our turkey. We'll grab our turkey. And we'll just come in here and pull off one of these buyouts. Now when you look at it, you're going to have a notch on one side or the other. On this particular one, it's on my left. And that side has a little more translucent or transparent to it. And the other side's a lot more solid. For this fly, we're going to want a fuzzy little rib to it. So we're going to flip it over so that transparent edge is to my right and the fuzzy edge is to my left. So we're going to tie it in tip first. Make sure it's tied in there. Now we want to add a little bit of bulk to the underbody here. So what I'm going to do is take some super fine dubbing. We're going to put that on our thread and we're going to form an underbody. The reason I like to use dubbing is just because it's a lot easier and quicker, so I don't have to attach another material such as floss. Add a little bulk to it here. Add a little bit more. Just like so. We'll come up a little bit more. That's good right in there. Now we have a nice tapered underbody. Now we're going to grab our hackle pliers. And we're going to grab this buyout. And just start wrapping it forward. Now as I'm wrapping it forward, I'm making sure it's pretty evenly spaced, just like so. And we get right up there and then we can tie it off. Trim off our excess and we'll just put a few more wraps on there to make sure it's in there nice and good. Now we're ready to tie in our wing case material, which is going to be medallion sheeting. What we want to do is just take and cut a strip of this, fairly narrow little band of it, like so. We're going to lay it up here, and again we want to lay it on the side towards me, so when I bring my thread over the top, it just kind of molds it right around the hook shank for a nice clean tie-in area. Now that we have that in there, we're ready to tie in some legs. For the legs, what we're going to be using is a fairly new feather out on the fly tying market anyway. It's called emu. I mean, if you look at this, I mean, there's just loads of little legs on one stem of these things. So we'll come in and we'll take two of them. And we're going to measure it so it's the length of the body. And just tie it in along the side away from you. Then we'll do the same thing on the side towards us. Again, we'll select two of them. Make sure they're the same length. Tie it on the side towards you. If you have a little excess, just trim it off. Now we're going to build up our thorax a little bit. And for that we'll use the natural gray or natural tone of possum. Again, I'll do it fairly loosely so it looks a little more shaggy. Get that on there. We'll just wrap right in front of those legs, build up a thorax. Then we're going to bring our wing case over the top, tie it down with 2 turns. You want to fold the wing case back and wrap back on it a little bit. That way the wing shell back will be back towards the bend of the hook. Now we're going to tie in another series of legs. Again, we're going to use the emu. So we select 2 of them, tie them in on the side away from you, and then do the same thing on the side towards you. Make sure they're the same length, just like so, and then we'll trim off our excess. Now we're going to finish off the fly with some more of that dubbing. Get some thread out here. Just a little bit more probably. I'm going to wrap it on there. Then we'll bring our thread up to the eye. Then we'll bring that wing case right over the top. And we'll tie it down. Use a few turns of thread and then we're ready to cut it off. And we'll just make a nice smooth head here. Now we can whip finish it off. Just like so. Take off our thread. And if you have a few long guard hairs, you can pull them off or trim them a little bit. And there you have it. This is what I call the swimming caddis pupa. And you can just see it blow in the breeze a little bit, just how flimsy these little legs are. So you can just imagine how much they're going to move in the water. They're a great little fly. If you want to add some character to it, what we can do, since we have that little fuzzy rib on here, we can come in with the magic marker. We'll just go over the top of it. We'll darken up the wing pad area a little bit. But the ribbings themselves will take the magic marker, and the base or core of the turkey biot doesn't really take the color that much. So that way you can add a little bit of color to your ribbing. It just gives it a nice little effect if you want to do that.